All right, well, good afternoon and welcome to the end of week market review for Friday, October 5th, 2012. My name is Jason Waugh, one of the trainers and success coaches with Ideal Trading Lifestyle. I'll be walking us through today's presentation. Basically, our agenda is to just go through and cover everything that we would be covering in our end of day market review, with the addition of analyzing the TSX and looking at the weekly charts for both the S&P and the TSX. We'll also go through and take a look at the economic reports. So as we can see, the markets did end up starting things off pretty positive today with some jobless reports which were posted this morning. It pushed the markets up, but with some concern coming out of the NASDAQ, we did end up seeing the markets slide back down to nearly a break even. Oil has also pulled back with the ongoing tension coming out of the Syria, as well as what's been going on with Spain. So all in all, the Dow Jones is down 0.03%, with the S&P 500 up 0.26%. Oil fell today 2.01%, putting it below $90 per barrel. It is currently sitting at $89.87. Gold fell 0.72%, putting it to $1783.60 per ounce. Now, things were pretty flat in the US markets this week. A lot of the news that came out was really just coming from Spain and what's going on with the oil there. But what we did see today was a lower than expected unemployment rate, which is great. We were expecting a unemployment rate of 8.2 and we've dipped down to 7.8. So that was actually a nice positive rise for the US markets. Taking a look at the S&P 500, we can see that it is going to be finding resistance at 1470. Now, this resistance level is both the cycle high that was established in September, as well as a rising trend line, which we've seen in place since the beginning of July. It's nice to see that the MACD is now rising bullish with the black line over top of the blue line. Looking at the weekly chart here, we can see that although we're coming back up and testing some cycle highs on the daily chart, we're actually looking like we're not doing quite as good as we did last week or the week prior to. This doesn't mean that we're not going to be able to push ourselves up, but it does signal that we could still be looking at a downtrend where we could end up going down and finding support somewhere down to 1300. But all in all, the weekly chart is still trending up, which is great to see. Right now, we're looking at the daily chart for the TSX. We can see that it too is trading between some support and resistance, with support just below at 12,400. Now, the MACD is flat and with the black line still below the blue line. So the TSX isn't looking as good as the S&P 500 is right now. If we move out to the weekly chart, we can see that the TSX is in the same boat where the last couple of weeks haven't been as high as they were a couple of weeks ago. It's also important to remember that the TSX has been in a downtrend all in all since the beginning of 2011, whereas the S&P 500 has been in a rise. And here we're looking at the volatility indicator. We can see that it is currently at 14.33. This was after it opened up below 13. Obviously, as the S&P 500 pulled back and started flattened out, the volatility indicator started to increase. And it's now back above 14, where it's definitely within a healthy trading range. If anything, it's even on the low end still. We typically find that a volatility indicator between 15 and 16 is perfectly normal. So with all this said, this makes a great opportunity to think about what we're doing and why we're trading. There's 3 M's that we always like to refer to help us become better traders, and that is the mental shift, the method of which we're trading, and the money that we use to trade. If we can learn how to apply these 3 M's to our trading disciplines, we'll definitely become much more successful. One of the ways that we can do that is by taking advantage of either our advanced course or our options course. Right now, they are $24.95 for the package. This is in contrast for $25.95 each. So if anybody's been interested in taking advantage of the offers that we have going on right now, and they really want to take advantage of the options course or the advanced course, where our typical trader is looking for 2 to 5% returns in the advanced course and upwards to 15 or even 20% in the options course, this is definitely the time to do it. Especially while the markets are looking like they might pull back, we might end up having a little bit of a lull in the market where we might not necessarily be able to trade as much. Otherwise, business is as per usual. We've got our end of week and continuous learning sessions Fridays and Saturdays, and we have our weekly spotlight reviews on Wednesdays. Coming up October 11th, our options customers will be plugged themselves into their monthly options refresher. And then coming up at the end of the month, October 23rd and 25th, we're going to be in Alberta, taking a look at Edmonton and Calgary for some boot camp sessions. If you want any more information on these events, just make sure that you visit us on our community news page. We'll also be in Regina, November 19th to 24th for Agribition. This is one of the larger trade shows that we attend. So if you guys are going to be in the area, we'd love it if you stop by our booth. All right. If anybody has any further questions or anything that they would like to be brought up during our continuous learning sessions tomorrow, you can let us know by emailing training@idealtradinglifestyle.com. You could also contact us toll free at 1-888-942-0266. Make sure to dial extension number 5. And as always, just like you guys, we are in the invested interest of what we get involved in. We definitely do take advantage of some of the trading opportunities that we take a look at, but we ourselves are not making any formal recommendations for you to buy or sell any stocks based on the analysis that we do. If you guys do decide to trade a stock, it's been through the final analysis that you've done on your own end, where you've taken advantage of the position sizing calculators that we help with coming up with the answers, but ultimately the final decision is up to you. So with that said, have yourself a good rest of your week. We'll touch base again next week. Ciao for now.